Hi, I'm the Lag Dr. Clay Ballard, and this week's PGA Tour winner is Matt Kuchar. Matt Kuchar has a bit of an unorthodox swing, actually one of the only one-plane swings on tour. I'm going to go over some of the advantages and disadvantages of a one-plane swing, talk about how they differ a little bit from what we recommend with RST, and then for those of you that are on YouTube, I'm going to give you a free preview of a premium video from the website you can watch to help put you in the perfect backswing position. We're going to teach it to you a little bit different than most people do. We're going to break it down in a way that your brain can learn the fastest. So be sure to stick around for that. Watch the free video. Let's go ahead and take a look at Matt Kuchar's swing. Okay, so as we go to the top of the swing, we can see that Matt has a very, very flat swing plane. So for those of you who are not really very familiar with a one-plane swing or the terminology of a one-plane swing, it just means that your left arm and your shoulders are basically on the same plane. Now there's different ways to measure this. He would be the only person that I know of on tour. There may be other ones, but the only person I've seen that can actually get his arm, or that actually does get his arm perfectly on plane with his shoulders. There's a lot of players that have a flatter swing, but he's the only one I know of that has a perfect, or kind of a textbook one-plane swing. Now, this isn't exactly what we recommend with the rotary swing for a few different reasons. I'm going to go over some of those for you today. So number one would be speed. It's very difficult to generate a lot of speed if you have a very flat swing. It means that you have to rotate your body very, very quickly. So you'll notice in the downswing, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line, but watch Matt's shoulders here as he starts the downswing, and watch his body. You notice that he really rotates very aggressively from the top to try and generate speed with his body. This is something that you'll see all flat swingers of the club do, is they rotate their body very, very hard through impact. Now you can generate speed this way, but it takes a lot of effort. So you can see that his shoulders are a little bit open, his body's really, really ripping open, and really trying to generate a lot from his body, which takes a lot of effort. And overall, the body is not extremely fast. So if you're a tall person, Matt's a pretty tall guy, I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", or if you're just really fast, if you can throw a 90-mile-an-hour baseball or slam dunk a basketball, you have a lot of fast twitch muscle fiber, then you can probably get away with swinging pretty flat and still hit the ball far. So if you're a guy that's built like Dustin Johnson, you can pretty much do anything, you're going to be able to hit the ball pretty far. But it's not the most efficient way to move your body. Let me go ahead and show you Matt's swing compared with more of an RST model swing, which would be like Tiger. I'll show you an older video of Tiger here now. Okay, so you can see on the swing, the screen on the right, Tiger's hands are much higher. So he's got a lot more elevation with his arms at the top of the swing. You can see his shoulder plane would be much flatter than his arm plane, or his left arm plane. So he's getting more leverage, he's getting more elevation. This is great for building speed. This is something that you'll see everybody that does long drive will always have their hands way up in the air, way too steep for consistency. So we're looking for something a little more in between with the rotary swing. But all long drive guys will always have their hands way up in the air to try to get as much leverage and speed in the downswing as they can. So that's not something we recommend, getting them as high as possible, but there is a certain zone there that would be really good to where you're maximizing both speed and consistency. So Matt, again here on the left, he's going to rotate his body very, very aggressively in the downswing. So if we look at him, roughly halfway down, his arms and hands are, his club's about parallel to the ground. You can see that his shoulders are already square to the target. Whereas if you look at Tiger halfway down, still getting rotation, not that he doesn't have rotation, but you can see that his shoulders would be much more closed when compared with Matt's. Again, as we start down, so let's take it back a little bit. Let's take his hands to waist high, compare him with Matt's when they go to waist high, and you can see that Matt's shoulders are ripping open, his body's rotating much quicker. So it's going to be tough. He's not getting the leverage that Tiger's getting. He's not taking advantage of gravity and the force of gravity to build speed through the swing. It's going to be a little tougher for him to generate the same amount of club head speed as Tiger, because he's not moving his body and taking advantage of his height the way that Tiger is. You're also putting yourself at risk for injury. So you can see that Tiger's spine would have much less rotation through impact than Matt's does. He's been rotating his body very, very quickly through impact, and he's putting a lot of stress on his body to try to generate that club head speed, where Tiger can move his body a little bit slower in the downswing, not have to put as much strain on it, and still produce more club head speed. So as you get older and older, your neurons actually start to slow down. So if you're in your 60s and 70s, it's going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to use a one-plane swing and generate clubhead speed, because now you can't rotate your body as fast because your neurons won't fire as quickly. Much easier to generate clubhead speed and power by using elevation and using gravity to your advantage and making this swing arc wider on the way back and on the downswing, using other things that are much easier to do when you get older. That's why you'll see guys like you see like a Fred Couples, for instance, gets his hands really high, uses leverage. He still hits it a long way even though he's getting up in age, because he uses leverage and lag to build speed versus rotation. So those are the reasons that I would recommend not using a one-plane swing in particular. It's a very effective swing. Matt Kuchar is a great player. You can play great golf with a one-plane swing, but those are the disadvantages the way that I see them. You're giving up leverage, right? So you're giving up some definite yardage. You'll never see anybody with a one-plane swing that's the longest driver on tour, but you can have decent distance, right, if you're pretty quick with your body. You're also putting yourself at risk for injury. It doesn't mean that you're going to get injured by doing this. I haven't heard of Matt having any lower back pain, but it's very similar to, someone that smokes. You may not get sick from smoking cigarettes, but you're putting yourself at risk for it. So it doesn't mean that's going to happen, but you're definitely increasing your odds, increasing your chances of injury if you rotate your body as quick as Matt is here. And some other guys you'll see that also, rotate, like Hunter Mahan that he played today. Hunter Mahan also has a very flat swing and rotates his body very quickly. He's putting himself at risk for injury in the long term. And as you start to increase with age, you're going to slow down. You're not going to be able to rotate as fast, so you're going to lose some distance by doing a one-plane swing. So those are the reasons that I would recommend more of an RST type swing, or a position you see Tiger here. It's going to help you get more power, have the same amount of consistency, and really be able to play golf and have good club head speed and good distance all the way, throughout your entire life. So good luck to you guys. I look forward to seeing you much more on the website. Good luck with your golf game. Okay, so I want to thank all those current RotarySwing members out there. We have the best students in the game, the most knowledgeable, best players. Our fans and our students are just great. I want to thank all you guys for keeping on supporting the RotarySwing. It's growing like crazy, doing great, and look forward to seeing you guys a lot more. If you're currently not a member and you're watching this on YouTube, I put a link in the description below where you can go ahead and click that link, and you're going to get to watch the entire 5 minutes to the perfect backswing video. This is going to break down the swing for you in small, very repeatable pieces. This is the way that your body can learn. Much like learning to read a book, you had to learn each letter first, learn the alphabet, and then you learned how to start grouping those letters together to make words, and then you started grouping those words together to make sentences. So to learn to read, you had to break these things down. That's the best way for your brain and your body to learn a new movement, or to learn anything for that matter. That's exactly how we do things on the RotarySwing. We work with your brain so that you can improve faster and faster and have improvements that last forever. So that's what I'm going to include that for you today, the 5 minutes of the perfect backswing video. Click the link below. You can watch that full video for free once you sign up for a free premium membership, and I'm going to give you a preview of that video right now. So good luck to you guys. Thank all of you guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button, add some comments. The more positive feedback I can get, the more comments I get, the more of these videos I can do. I look forward to seeing you guys on the website. Good luck with your golf game.
Once you've mastered the setup and the takeaway, it's time to get us all the way to the top of the backswing. If you haven't mastered the setup and takeaway yet, you're not ready for this video. Do the right thing. Master the takeaway first, and then come back for this video once you've mastered that piece, because you need to have a perfect takeaway to set up a backswing to make it simple to get to the top in the right positions. I'm going to walk you through the exact same progression that I use when I teach students in person, so that you can get the exact same experience and understand exactly how you need to work through the backswing to get into a perfect position at the top every time without any problems. There's two techniques that I use. The first one is progression or stacking. What that means is I'm going to make things really simple at first, and then each time we master a simple little piece of the rotation. So when I demonstrate this for my students, what I'll typically do is put a shaft down the line in the middle of my body here and tell them that anything behind this shaft would be in the depth dimension, and then anything moving straight up and down would be in this vertical dimension. Where most people go wrong with the backswing is that they try and move their arms and club into this depth dimension. And so when they do that, that's how you end up really flat and deep and in a bad position at the top. What you need to think of is that you never move your arms into this depth dimension. All the arms are doing is moving in this vertical dimension, and that's it. Now technically that's not exactly what happens, but that's what 99.9% of the students need to focus on and feel in their golf swings. So what you're going to do is to get into this depth dimension, because obviously the club's going to end up behind us, that is handled through rotation. So now as I turn, that moves my arms, starts to move them into this depth dimension. It's done by rotation, not by me taking my arms and swinging them across my body. That's going to end up with a flat swing. So what your arms do is that they feel as if they're only moving straight up and down in this vertical dimension. And as I'm doing this, this is when our first drills are going to start. It feels like I'm just moving my hands straight up and down over my head. That's it. They're not moving this way. They're moving straight up and down. So when I put these two together, vertical movement and depth movement, rotation, here's what it looks like. So I'm going to only do vertical movement while rotating, and when you put the two together, you start to create a golf swing and a swing plane.
Now it's time to take action. Don't let another year pass and still be frustrated with your golf game. This is your year to beat all of your friends. Go to the description below and click the link to sign up for your free membership. It will never cost you a dime, and you'll receive over 2.5 hours of detailed, eye-opening video lessons. Plus, you will be able to see the remainder of this video, only available if you click the link on this particular video. Be the first of your friends to join our 40,000 plus free members. We look forward to having you on our team.